Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and this is part of my weekly series of self-improvement paths. I like to begin each week with a mantra or a certain practice that makes moving forward in my work easier and more fun. And moving forward in the name of self-improvement. The examples that I'll give as I describe each week's path draw from my work as an audiobook narrator and also as a teacher of narrators. I think they can be applied to just about any kind of practice you want to improve. Give it a try. Let me know your results. So this week is going to be part of three, maybe four elements that are going to be sequeling, if that's a real word. What I've discovered is that manifestation sometimes has a magical quality to it, but also has a quality to it that is psychological in terms of how I respond to things based on a vision that I have. And I'm not talking magical vision, but a goal, basically, an imagined goal that I really have confidence in. When I have an imagined goal specifically in mind, and I'm determined to do that, more often than not, it manifests. Perhaps not in exactly the way I wanted it to, but in the way I needed it to, in a very positive sense. So why? I think because having the goal, I think that ongoing, what I do is I take advantage of opportunities. I permit a certain amount of imperfection or error. I work with very workable fears. And I also have some other elements that I can't think of right now, but I'll get them to you. Let's let that be the cliffhanger. Anyway, that'll be the imperfection that I tolerate for this video. So anyway, what we're going to work with is how when I have a focus in mind, a vision, that usually I will be, it's not so much that, okay, do I face fears? It's what fears do I face? I could be facing fears on a daily basis and not be aware of it because I've taken for granted the things that I'm doing, out of habit. However, if I have a vision, the types of fears I face can make that vision come true. So this week, what I'm going to focus on is the types of fears that I face based on a vision that I have on an hourly basis. What do I really want to happen in the next hour? And what sort of fears are coming up that I'm willing to face based on that? And then with each week, I'm also going to be talking about how each of these elements meets the idea of opportunities. Oh, there's an opportunity I didn't see because my fears usually bar me from seeing that as an opportunity, but that actually could get me further along in what I'm doing. Let's break it down really specifically into audiobook work. So in my work as an audiobook narrator, it may be, let's go with the most boring thing, which is quota for the evening. I tend to record at night, and so I'm in the studio, and I want to make sure that I get 20 pages done before the end of my initial session. Okay, now, what is a fear maybe that keeps me from doing that? It's not necessarily related to being afraid of doing that. It's that perhaps I'm afraid that but if I don't take care of this task, if I don't take the garbage out like I usually do, it'll never get done. So I gotta take the garbage out first, even if it's going to eat up 5 to 10 minutes of my evening. I've got to make sure that I am completely warmed up in exactly the same way. Otherwise, I'm afraid that my throat is going to burn out. These are reasonable, but perhaps that particular evening, it's okay to face those fears and just say, you know what, it's manageable to just go forward. I can work with that. I can work with that. So going forward and, opportunity to save even more time. There was this other chore that I had this evening, and if I just put that off until tomorrow, when I know I'll probably have space in my schedule anyway, oh, I could get these pages done, and there it is. So fears, and then working with them and seeing opportunities, new opportunities to get the goal done. For students, I think probably the number one fear is being seen by the teacher or being seen by people supposedly in authority, who have some kind of authority or power, perhaps the author that you're auditioning for. The fear of looking amateurish. The fear of being corny, the fear of having things that you've been instructed to do not quite integrated yet because you're a student, you're figuring it out, right? So working with that fear bit by bit, okay, perhaps my breathing is too loud. I can work with that. Perhaps I'm not completely focused on the text. Perhaps my mind is doing other things. I can still work with that. I can still move forward. Okay, so now that I'm not stopping every time I take an audible breath, maybe now that I'm not stopping each time that you give me your examples. So I'm not stopping and restarting in the name of looking good. I'm facing that fear. Ooh, and I'm seeing opportunity here. I can actually get this much more done. Or, when I'm not focused on that stuff, I can actually focus on this particular technique even more, and that might compensate for the other things that I'm still working on. So, to summarize, this is a longer video than usual, but to summarize, facing a manageable fear, seeing opportunity, and it all starts with the vision. That's what I'm going to be playing with this week. I'll get back to you with my results. You get back to me with yours. Thank you for joining me. And as your narrator and teacher of narration, I hope that our paths cross again real soon.